welcome to a new series in which I'm going to talk about the books that hooked me into a certain genre. I hope this is helpful for you guys if you are looking to explore new genres, that it'll give you an idea of something you might enjoy, although everyone's tastes are not the same. And today I'm talking about the young adult genre, but especially more relationship-focused young adult literature. So I had been reading young adult lit for several years, but mainly certain genres within young adult, so young adult science fiction or fantasy or historical fiction, often by the authors I already knew. And I had steered clear of the books that seemed more relationship focused, or dare I say chick lit. So the first one I tried, and actually the one that really kind of hooked me into paying more attention to the relationship-focused books, was The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. Dessen is very well known in the genre. Her books are award-winning, critically acclaimed, they are bestsellers, they're really good. But obviously I didn't know that, I just knew she was popular. And I tried The Truth About Forever first. So basically, it talks about this girl, Macy, who is spending her summer basically recuperating or grieving, recovering from the death of her father. So she's working a new job, she's making new friends, dealing with relationships. And that's one major thing I appreciate about this book, is that yes, there are romantic relationships, but it's more about relationships in our entire life. So it deals a lot with Macy's relationship with her mother, with some of her friends. There's a lot more to it than just a love story, although there is a love story. But I appreciated that, you know, when a romance happens, it doesn't happen in isolation. The rest of your life is still going on. And I appreciate that Sarah Dessen doesn't minimize those other aspects of life just to focus on the romance. She really makes it much broader. And she takes her time. As you can see, it's a pretty thick book, so I appreciate that she doesn't try to rush through the process. She gives time for Macy to feel and to think and to experience the more boring parts of life. There aren't interesting things going on every single page. And I appreciate that, because in life, it takes time. It takes time for stories to play out in life. And while obviously we're going to condense that in a book, she doesn't condense it too much. And when you condense that much, that's where you get stories that are really cliche, they're really easy to see where things are going, and you don't have time to really enjoy the full journey. So I very much appreciated that about her story. She, Dessen, in all of her books, I've read several since I read The Truth About Forever, deals a lot with how we deal with change, but also with trying to control everything around you. Macy is trying to make her life perfect, to try to cope with this loss that she's had and to try to comfort her mother through the loss. And several of Dessen's characters do that, which I find a kind of interesting, perhaps, reflection on her own life. I'm not going to dive too deeply into that, but it's interesting to me how you can see themes throughout an author's life. I think The Truth About Forever is a great book to start with in the YA genre because, for the most part, it's relatively controversy-free. There's relatively little cursing, there's relatively little sex or violence or really too many controversial elements, so it's good for someone to get started on. And also, I particularly appreciate the way that she's written the romantic relationships, because they're a lot more based on words and talking and shared experiences and shared feelings rather than just physical attraction, although that's definitely there. In real life, I feel like most strong relationships definitely have a basis in talking and in sharing emotions rather than just sharing physical attraction. So I really appreciate that Dessen has brought that out, and that really she created a book and a set of characters who are really dynamic, they're really interesting, you can't help but liking them a little bit, and I can picture the town that she's written. I can picture the settings and where they're going down, although she doesn't necessarily spend a ton of extra time describing them. You don't have pages and pages of description like you do in some books, but she's created a world that's very easy to imagine, that's very easy to picture, and that's very easy to immerse yourself in. So I think this is a great book if you're interested in getting started in the young adult genre. It's a good one to start with, a good age range, because young adult can interest people from really like 13 to 25. This one is a good middle ground, like I said, not too controversial, but it's very real. So I think I'm 22 and I just reread it and I still enjoyed it. So I think it does have interest to a wide range of ages. If you're an adult, maybe not as interesting to you, but maybe still worth a read. It might resonate with some of the experiences and the feelings you had as a teenager. If you have teenage children, it might really resonate with what you see in their lives. And a note also, I think this is what someone would I perceived as a chick lit book, but it's not. Yes, the main character is a girl, but that doesn't mean that it's just a book for girls. I think there's plenty in it that guys could find to enjoy as well. So that's my recommendation. This is the book that really got me hooked into the young adult genre in general, and especially the female authors. I think you would enjoy it too if you give it a chance. Let me know in the comments if you have read it, or if you do, go and read it. I would love to know what you think, and let me know what you're reading otherwise in the comments.